Welcome to Live with It's All About Choices, Nutrition and Weight Loss, where you make the decision to take action with your weight and your health goals. And I give you and present to you the best choices for you. So every Tuesday, I have the pleasure and the honor of dishing out your daily dose of wellness news for your mind, your body, and your soul. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far, a wonderful Tuesday. And I hope that your week is going well also. And so for those who are tuning in live with me, I thank you for taking time out of your hectic day, your busy day. Hopefully you're having some lunch and that you are going to take in some news that will help you as well as your family. And for those who are listening to the replay, I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to kind of pause for a moment to, hey, get some news that'll also benefit your mind, your body, and your soul. And so before I get into the meat of everything, please allow me a few minutes to get my windows going and I will get jumping in. I'd like to have the opportunity to refer to people by their names. And so I'm just getting my window set up so that I'm able to see who is chiming in and who is responding. So give me one more second. I have one more window that I need to get set up and then we are good to go. All right, here we go. And as you are chiming in, I see people logging on. Please feel free to say hello to me and just give me a little shout out, please. I appreciate that. And so we are continuing our theme for December on 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, Food Galore. But today we are focusing on holiday spirits, okay? How can we enjoy our holiday spirits, whether they're alcoholic or non-alcoholic, but they're still holiday spirits? Add the joy without adding on the pounds, okay? That's really what we're talking about today. And so the holidays can put even the most diligent dieter in a worry mode. I know a lot of people were fearing the holiday season. I know a lot of my clients are fearing going into the holiday season because they don't want to see all their work derailed, right? And so after, this is season to encounter all your favorite foods, including that, many can tip the scale in the wrong direction. And so we have the best intentions of getting through the holidays without gaining weight, but your resolve kind of vanishes with one or two drinks, the wine, the beer, the eggnog, or the holiday special mixed drinks that generally you see come on the scene. So stay with me. I'm going to give 4 essential nuggets for staying in charge of your holiday spirits while eating, while enjoying your holiday at the same time without packing on the pounds, okay? Or at least we want to try to maintain, or we don't want to go overboard, all right? And so again, as I see people chiming in, please feel free to share with me, say your name, say hello, and share with me your favorite holiday spirit, because I'm going to ask that later too. So I'll be happy to hear what that is. And so for those who do not know me, my name is Sandra Goltry, and I am a registered dietitian, nutritionist. And really this time of the year, my focus is just simply to help you to get through the holidays, without feeling like you have to miss out, feeling like you have to feel deprived, and without the unwanted extra weight gain, okay? That's really what it's all about. We want to enjoy without feeling the effects of it or feeling guilty about it later. And so while at the same time, you want to enjoy the holiday delights without feeling guilty, okay? Or feeling like you shouldn't have done something, okay? Simple as that. So again, introduce yourself, chime in. Definitely let me check some comments here. Hey, hey Nika, how you doing, my clone sister? Good to see you again. And what's your holiday favorite spirit? Amaretto and tequila. That's a nice combination there. Nice. All right. So we're going to talk more about the holiday spirits and how to have the joy without adding on the pounds, okay? And so if you want to, so our first topic is I'm going to ask you a question, okay? I'm going to ask you a question. So let me pull up everything here. And what is your holiday spirit of choice? Okay, so Nika gave me hers, and that sounds really nice. So, is it alcoholic? Is it non-alcoholic? Or is it both? So, what is your holiday spirit of choice? So, there's this eggnog that I enjoy, and it's by Evans Williams. It comes out only this time of the year, and it's like 15%. So, we're just gonna leave it there, and it's one of the worst too. So, like, a cup of it. 8 ounces of it is like 343 calories, like 34 grams of carbs, which is equivalent to like 2 slices of bread, just to kind of give you a point of reference. About 20 grams of fat, which is equivalent to about an ounce of nuts. And most of that's saturated fat. So it's the fat that affects your cholesterol over time. And it does have some protein in it. So it's about an ounce, a little over an ounce and a half of protein in it. But needless to say, I got to keep that at a minimum because it adds up. I mean, think about 8 ounces, 343 calories. You multiply that by 3, 4, it does add up, right? So let me see here. I'm seeing some choice. Yeah, exactly. Nika says, wow. Okay, Krista, how you doing, Krista? She does both. And even the non-alcoholic ones you still have to watch because no, they don't have the alcohol content, but they have a lot of chasers. So you think about the sodas, the juices, all the different, all that's full of carbs, all of it's full of sugar. So it's almost like where you want to pick, you pick your poison basically, right? You pick where you want to get it from, but it is coming. All right. And so we're going to talk about 4 essential nuggets for staying in charge of your holiday spirits while and eating, because now we're talking about both, which is a double whammy, while enjoying at the same time. So let's talk about nugget number 1. Okay. Let me pull up my comments here. Okay. And let me go back. So nugget number 1. So alcohol is sneaky. Okay, it's sneaky. So logic would tell you that, if you consume about 300 calories by drinking 2 glasses of wine, your body will compensate and you'll eat less than if you hadn't had the wine at all. Not quite that cut and dry. Not quite that cut and dry. So fluid calories from alcohol don't give you that fullness, doesn't give you that feeling of fullness. So people tend to eat more eventually. It may not happen immediately, but eventually you hang around long enough, you'll find yourself wanting too much. Other beverages such as soda, fruit juice, sports drinks, specialty teas or coffees, they have a similar effect. And so, but on the flip side, those calories from moderate use of alcohol may not do as much damage as a pecan pie or something like that, but it's affecting the body in different ways. So what is moderate drinking? So that's a very common question that people ask. So for a woman, it's 1 drink a day. And for men, it is 2 drinks a day. Okay, that's another topic as to why men get more than women. But bottom line is just technically how our body processes alcohol. So that's what's considered moderate drinking. And moderate drinking can fit into a healthy lifestyle as well as a weight loss. Now, here's a caveat. There's one thing you cannot do is you cannot queue your drinks up into the weekend and say for a woman, okay, I didn't drink, so I'm gonna have my 7 drinks on Saturday and Sunday. No, it doesn't work that way. So it's like vacation in many jobs. If you don't use it, you lose it. So you can't queue it up for the weekends. So that's usually a little disclaimer that I got to put out there when I talk about moderate drinking. So let's see here. I missed one. Oops, let me go back. Okay, so let me ask you this. When you're out, what is your, how many drinks do you think you consume? 1, 2, 3 or more, or maybe none? Maybe you don't have any desire to have any of the holiday spirits, whether they're alcoholic based or not. Where do you think you feel, where do you think you fall in that department? So 1 drink, 2, 3 or more, none. Okay. So let me see. Does wine have carbs? Yes, it does. I'm going to let me go in here and post that because that is a very good question. Very, very, very good question. So we have here we go. There it is. Does wine have carbs? Yes, it does. It does have carbs. They're empty carbs. However, it's different in how it processes in our body. Though it processes in our body as fat, but it does have carbs in it. So and a lot of times it's what we call the refined carbs. So it's basically gonna go to our head and so it's not a lot of nutrients in it. So that's a good question. Okay. Yes, it does. Actually, all alcohol does. So it does have, especially like beers and things like that. 2. Okay. So Krista says she does 2 drinks. Not bad. Normally 2. So, okay. So we have matured and we have gotten to the point where we can control it because I'll tell the truth. 2 was like getting started. So, but can't do that no more. Cannot do that anymore. All righty. And so now let me get back to the topic here. So nugget number 2. Should you eat before a holiday event? What do you guys think about that? Huh? When you know alcohol is on the menu, you know stuff is on the menu, should you eat? So what's your take on that? So just kind of at first glance at hearing that, do you think you should eat before you have your spirits? Okay. So I'm going to recommend, let me see if I see some people posting before I chime in. Not yet. So it's a little delay. So I'll probably have to wait a few minutes to see. But I will just go ahead and chime in and let me know if you think you should eat something before you have a drink, and if it matters, or if it makes a difference in how your body reacts to it. So I tend to tell people to follow your normal routine, specifically eating breakfast and having your snacks. Okay. And some people don't snack because they think that snacking has a negative connotation, but there is a purpose for snacking. But definitely have your breakfast, okay? Because usually that event is later in the day. And so you don't want to show up to an event, whether you're drinking or not, starving, okay? We want to avoid that. And so, especially if it's in the evening, okay? And so you want to have food on your stomach, and which is also important to slow down the absorption, because if you don't have anything on your stomach, then definitely, yes, you will feel the effects of it a lot faster. And so, and of course, that has negative effects as well. So you definitely want to have something on your stomach, but then you want to treat it, like I said, you want to eat normal. You don't want to show up, regardless of whether you plan on drinking or not, starving, okay, on an empty stomach, okay, ideally. All right, so let's reflect back on Thanksgiving Day, and what was your eating pattern before? Okay, what was your eating pattern before? And so, and are you going to change anything? Are you going to make any changes for Christmas? So basically leading up to that feast, and not just even you got all these holiday events going on. Okay, like this past weekend, I went to SeaWorld, and they have their holiday celebration, and they have this taste sampling going on where you can buy a lanyard and you can have all these different, like 20 different stations set up. And so, it's a license to overeat. It definitely is, because you thinking that, it's not a lot, but it does add up and it does sit on you. So you have to be careful. And it was a combination of food, and it was a combination of spirits as well. But it was celebrating the season, so to speak. So do you eat normal on these days when you know that you're going to have something different and higher in calories and higher in everything? Do you graze, or do you not eat at all? So kind of think about what you did for Thanksgiving. Think about what you maybe have done if you had holiday events that you've gone to, and then what can you do differently? So share with me what has gone on in that department. So let's see here. See a few comments. I'm just kind of checking out. Okay, eat normal, which is great. Definitely eat normal. That's what I recommend. Now, I understand that's a relative term, but I do a topic on what normal eating is and what it is not. So you definitely don't want to cut carbs. You don't want to cut the healthy carbs in order leading up to the event. Okay. And so how do you put all of this into practice? So I just want to kind of give you a little sneak peek on what is it that I mean when I say, have a breakfast, or don't cut carbs, or don't cut out certain things. And what does that really mean? And so I'm going to put this in the chat because I know you all cannot click on it. But this is just kind of what give you an ideal of, an ideal of a breakfast, an ideal of a lunch, an ideal of some things that you can eat leading up to that event, so that you are not just starving yourself, but also want to make sure you're giving yourself the nutrients. Because 9 times out of 10 at the event or at the holiday feast, the food is good, but it's not always the most nutrient dense food or the nutrient rich food. So you want to kind of get your nutrients in beforehand as much as you can. And that always helps. Okay. And so now let's go on to nugget number 3, which is have a plan, have a holiday plan. Okay. And so pre-COVID, let's talk about how things were pre-COVID. Think about how many events you went to, or how many parties you went to in December alone. Okay. 2, maybe 3. Think about, did you eat at those house parties or those events, and what if you had more than one in a day? I mean, there was a time where I would go to, a couple of houses in a day. So think about those. And so the real question is, do you have to overindulge in all of them? Okay, so one party doesn't have to put you over the top, but it's very easy that it can. But if you go to 2 and 3 parties, and you know that you're going to 2 or 3 parties, you can easily rack up, 1,002 calories, depending on what you're doing. And that's just drinking. Okay. So what about eating? So it adds up very quickly, and you may not even feel full because things are so paced out, and you just kind of lose track. So it's very easy to lose track of all that. So the very easy answer, so the easy answer is what to say: avoid it, right? Avoid, non-alcoholic drinks, alcoholic drinks altogether. Just don't even worry about it. You save yourself about 300 calories per drink on the low end, and then so therefore you can focus all your calories on your food. Well, that may not be realistic, right? That's not realistic for everybody because you want to enjoy the holidays. And for many people, holiday spirits is part of that enjoyment. So that's not always a solution. So you want to eat sensibly, like I had mentioned earlier, before arriving at the event, because at least that will at least allow you to make more sound decisions or more informed decisions when you're there. And continuing to drink what you would normally drink, but purposefully watch what you eat. Okay, so here's kind of the trick. Purposefully watch what you eat and compensate to some degree. You're not gonna compensate one for one. It's very difficult to do that, even for me to do that. But you want to eat less of the others. If you try to combine the two, try to eat less. Not saying don't eat at all, because we know what happens when we drink on an empty stomach. So you will find, and then you will need to find or need to make a conscious effort, because the beverages don't lead to a clear satiety signal. So you're not going to feel full. It's going to want to cause you to eat spontaneously. It's going to want to cause you to just kind of graze and go on and on and on and on. And so another solution that you can have is limit your favorite drink to maybe one, but still limit how much you eat, especially if you're going to multiple parties and you're going to multiple events, and not necessarily in one day, but over the course of the holiday. So maybe limit it to have that one favorite one, because you'll be surprised, even if it's a small glass, it can pack a lot of stuff in it. And then just monitor what you eat. And that way you can have the best of both worlds is kind of how I say it. And so all of that being said, and I'm going to check for some comments before I move on, just in case somebody asks any questions. What is your holiday game plan? Okay. Or maybe now you're going to have a holiday game plan, which is great. That means we're getting you to think about something that you probably never even thought about before. So for some people, it's avoiding spirits altogether. I mean, if that is your plan, that is your desire, then do so. Don't do it because you feel like you got to do it, but if that's something you truly want to do, then do it. And that's great. Or you're going to eat or drink less. Okay. Or drink, eat less. Or drink less, eat less, so kind of think about it like that. So you're either going to avoid it altogether, and you still need to monitor what you eat, even if you don't drink. So it doesn't give us a license to overeat. Maybe you're going to eat, or maybe you're going to drink or eat less, or, so kind of decide which one is it. Is you're going to drink and eat less, or you're going to do both, so kind of think of it in that regard. But it's all about being mindful is really what it's all about. And then reflect on Thanksgiving. So did you overindulge, or did you indulge in having holiday spirits? So think about how you felt, the outcomes. Do you feel like you overdid it? Do you feel like you was right on pace? Kind of think about it that way. And if you felt like you did things good, you felt like you cut back, you did less than what you did, then hey, repeat that for Christmas. Or maybe you want to take it a step further. So just kind of think about those things. And then you definitely want to have, and you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time to come up with a realistic plan that works for you. Okay. Avoidance is not always a realistic plan, but you can have moderation. Okay. And therefore you're not feeling like you have to completely miss out. Okay. So think about that. Think about it in that regard. All right. Number 4, drink and eat in moderation. But the key is enjoying the holidays, enjoy the family, enjoy your friends, enjoy fellowship. And so this may surprise you, but it's actually easier to prevent weight gain than to take it off. Okay, so it's easier to prevent weight gain than to actually take the weight off. So falling down during the holidays, usually, it affects our confidence. It undermines our confidence for both yourself and your weight loss efforts. But because we feel defeated, we wait until much later in the year to attempt to lose that gained weight. So unless the holidays and the festivities just totally don't faze you, don't approach the holidays thinking that you're going to lose a whole bunch of weight. Okay. I usually tend to say to my clients, let's maintain. If you lose, that's a bonus, but maintaining, you still have a lot of liberties. Okay. But yet you are in control. So unless you, have trained support, you got somebody in your corner, then losing weight during the holidays is definitely possible and you still enjoy, but you don't want to feel deprivation in the process. So that's kind of where that balance comes in, and working with an RD will help you. And so the reason being, you'll set yourself up to fail. You will set yourself up to fail. You won't enjoy the holidays. You're gonna feel guilty because you just felt like, oh my gosh, I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, and I just because I'm trying to meet these goals. So you don't want to put that type of pressure on yourself. And so that's why I encourage my clients. If you're that stressed out, a lot of people are, just focus on weight maintenance and just be mindful and enjoy and listen to your body. Your body will let you know when you've had enough. And that is what is key. All right. And so again, putting all this to practice, how do you begin creating some of those new habits and those holiday habits? Are you going to get it all down this year? No, it takes time. It takes time. But I guarantee you, just the fact that you've listened to this and the fact that you're thinking about it, you're going to make different choices and different decisions than you did last year in itself. I mean, I've had people say, oh, yeah, I would have had 2 and 3 plates or 4 and 5 drinks, and they've cut things down just because now they're thinking about it. Okay. And so it goes a long way just to think about it. Okay. And so I'm going to post this again, and I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a free meal plan, and it is really designed to kind of help you to fuel your body throughout the day when an event is coming up. That's one of the benefits of it. So it'll give you that energy during the day. And think about between that 2 and that 4 o'clock hour. That's usually when people crash. That's when people crash and burn because they haven't had a breakfast or they haven't had an adequate lunch. So we want to make sure that we get all that under control, and it will prevent the triggers, because when you finally get around food, you're going to lose your mind because you haven't been eating. And so it helps to curtail all of that. And so now you're going into this feast, this event, this occasion, ready, but not ready to tear the walls down. Okay. And then many people follow the full 3 days. It's 3 days, it's 3 meals, and it'll jumpstart your weight loss, and it will also boost your energy levels, especially if you've maybe been restricting a little too much. And so you will definitely feel those types of effects. So definitely check it out, download it. It's my gift to you. And you will also you may also use these meals on Christmas Day. So maybe have the breakfast. If you have if your Christmas dinner is early, then you may not need lunch. But if it's later in the evening, then pick one of the lunch options as well. So that will kind of at least give you an idea, and at least you're getting some nutrients in before you have that big meal. So you're going in there with more armed. I like to say more armed, okay? Because remember, you don't want to show up starving. So I would check. Let me see if I have any questions. But that is all that I have for you all today. We're going to have a new topic next week. So thank you for tuning in this week with It's All About Choices, Nutrition and Weight Loss Private Practice. And remember, keeping a positive mindset, speaking only positive self-talk goes a long way in cultivating and maintaining a healthy lifestyle and self-care habits that last for life. So I'm a firm believer. Mindset is such a big part of this equation. And so next week, like I said, we're going to start a new series on weight loss. Why is it so hard? Okay, so I think that's going to be a fun one. Why is it so hard to lose weight? And we're going to kick things off with I eat low carb, but the weight is still not coming off. So think about if you've cut some carbs in the name of trying to lose weight and it didn't work out for you, then definitely you want to tune in. So eating low carb is real and it's a struggle, isn't it? So bye for now. Have a great rest of your day and have a great rest of your week. Blessings and healthy regards. Bye-bye.